Lewis, Chief Executive of the Welsh Rugby Union since 2006, and a man who has overseen record annual turnover of more than £60 million for the group.
We all know that if one doesn't sign an agreement, well, there is no region, and that is the consequence of not signing an agreement.
Well, in terms of discussions, Gareth, we've met on 4 occasions over the past 2 weeks. There's been 3 one-on-one meetings with myself and the chairman of Regional Rugby Wales, and have been facilitated quite brilliantly by Sir Wyn Williams. We've then met formally on Wednesday of this week with both sides, with our lawyers and the region's lawyers. We also met with our rugby teams from both sides. Warren led for us, and the regions also were present at that rugby meeting with Stuart Gallagher and Gareth Jenkins, and also our financial people met on Wednesday as well. The documents have been exchanged. We're now waiting a markup from the regions on our primary document, but we sent to the regions on Friday the markup from the rugby discussions. Further discussions took place yesterday. I spoke to the chairman of Regional Rugby Wales yesterday with Sir Wyn as well, and we will be talking further on Monday, and further information will be shared.
Are you close?
I'm encouraged.
OK. Roger, if you can.
People are trying to portray this as a crisis in Welsh rugby. Let's look positively, first of all, at what's taking place in Welsh rugby, and let's look forward, and let's reflect as we look forward on what we've actually achieved. We've achieved 3 championship wins since 2006. We've won 2 Grand Slams. We've been a semi-finalist in the Rugby World Cup. We've won the Sevens Rugby World Cup. Our under-20s have been to the final of the Junior World Championship. The financial results, which
Roger, I'm going to stop you. We know it's all documented. It's all documented. I do, though, want to get into the audience and hear from the fans as well. We all know how well Wales have done over the past 6-7 years or so. Problems.
I met with the chairman of the Players Association this week, and let me share with you, Gareth Davis and I met on Thursday. We met Thursday morning, and that discussion was all about how we bring back to Wales top talent that's left. And that's at the heart of the negotiation that we are undertaking with the regions at the moment. We can actually, to pick up on Paul's point...
Is it extra money, Roger?
Yes. We, the Welsh Rugby Union, can identify extra money if we can reach agreement. And at the heart of that agreement is retaining our best talent in Wales, incentivising the regions to retain the talent, rewarding those regions who develop and retain the talent, and working with those regions who are unable to do that at the moment to help them sustain. That's at the heart of the negotiation.
In a second. Where's the extra money coming from? It's the same pot, but you're going to divvy up the money differently.
No, it's additional money if we can reach agreement.
So where does that come from, though?
Because what I've managed to do, if we reach this agreement, I can create further inventory for Welsh rugby.
Where is this extra money to potentially contract 6 star players actually coming from?
The extra money comes from our relationship with our key partners, who together over the last 7 years have generated 32% increase in revenues for the game. Let me give you one stat, by the way. Since 2006, the regions have had an increase of 102% in distribution. 102%. In 2006, it was 8.3 million. Last June, it was 16.8 million. So the numbers within the game and what we've achieved in Wales are very impressive, and that's why the Welsh Rugby Union was voted the best governing body in the world. The Welsh Rugby Union will only go forward in tournaments that honour the contractual commitments we've all entered into. We will, at all times, act lawfully, and we will act under the aegis of the International Rugby Board. If you can square all of those things, we will go forward with the tournament.
So you won't break your contract with Sky then for next season? One other point is what you're saying. Is that what you're saying?
We met on Friday, and we all 6 nations meet this Tuesday. We are meeting this Tuesday with all of those elements on the table, and the key thing is everyone has to be in agreement.
Just a couple of things to put to you. You sent a letter out to member clubs at the start of this year asking them to encourage our regions to grow their businesses by improving their structures and commercial synergies to build support and stability, which sounds like create more money, generate more money. The annual report says it's one of the priorities, in fact, for the year ahead. The regions should achieve their commercial and rugby potential. They say they have £1 million each extra on the table because of this deal. They're ticking 2 boxes for you there, aren't they?
Well, it's the devil's in the detail, and Gareth perhaps could explain what those competitions are and who's taking part in them, because at the moment what we hear, and that's why we're meeting on Tuesday, is that the Irish do not wish to take part in it, the French do not wish to take part in it, the Italians do not wish to take part in it, the Scottish are hedging their bets, and at the moment it's a English club-led initiative which the Welsh regions have indicated they could be interested in.
Will you move on it? Just very briefly, is there any danger of you moving on that, or is that a firm no?
We will only move if we are acting lawfully and we're acting under the rules and regulations of the International Rugby Board.
I don't think he has little...
And that's why we meet him. And that's why we're meeting on Tuesday with the Six Nations to resolve this. And it's been driven by ourselves. And with respect, Gar, you've not been to any of those meetings to discuss the competition formats. And I'd encourage you, as I said to you on Thursday, as a rugby man, to join us. Because the only way we're going to resolve this is working together. There is a crisis across European rugby. It's across the game in Europe. And we need to address our issues together in Wales and move forward together.
Gareth?
The governance of the game has to follow the governance of the rugby. And if we break away, as is being suggested, and it's only a three-year term that's on offer from the English clubs to the Welsh clubs, only 3 years, 3 years thereafter, who knows what, is not a way to create long-term sustainability. And the way to create long-term sustainability is to work collectively together with the governance of the game and the governance of the finances running hand in hand.
I think that's a no. Roger, thank you.
So, let's go back to 2011 then. 2011 is actually when the regions hit the rocks. The Welsh Rugby Union suggested that we commission PwC. The Welsh Rugby Union paid for the report. In 2011, we began it. Throughout all of 2012, detailed meetings took place with the Welsh Rugby Union and the regions looking at a range of models. In June of 2012, the English clubs decided to pull away from Europe. In August of that year, the Welsh Rugby Union suggested a way forward with the regions. That didn't take place. A number of other suggestions then took place. Throughout 2013, there was a hiatus and we picked it up once more. Further suggestions were put forward and further discussions took place. On July the 1st of last year, the regions could have told us that they did not wish to sign the PA. We could have then spent 5 months negotiating. The WRU did not set a deadline of December the 31st. That was a date agreed by both parties in 2009, and we suggested in 2009 that December the 31st was simply too late, but the regions wanted that date, and so we honoured it. Also, the Welsh Rugby Union signed up to a 10-year agreement, and the only people who could break the agreement were the regions.
OK, Roger,
so that's people can
lots of dates, lots of dates.
A new agreement is now on the table.
I want to come back to David as well.
We have behaved in the best interests of all of Welsh rugby. And that's why I said at the start, we've got to reflect on what Welsh rugby has created. If you look at the 320 member clubs, look at the schools, look at the 7 divisions, look at the Premiership, look at the regions, look at the Welsh rugby, what we've done has been so great. We are the only country in Europe that has this uncertainty that is tearing itself apart.
Can the regions...
Please. The regions were a director of the company when these discussions were taking place. The regions were a director of European Cup, as were the Rugby Union. And all of us, regions and Welsh Rugby Union, behaved in a manner that this competition was going to continue. All of us behaved in that manner.
Roger, I just need to ask as well.
The union has never discussed setting up new regions.
Well, you've said it yourself that teams will enter competitions from Wales next season, but not specified which.
Let's be clear. As the Chief Executive of the Welsh Rugby Union, I've not had any private conversations about setting up new regions. The clip you showed at the top of the programme, actually you edited it. The first part of that clip said, I'm committed to making the 4 regions work.
Yet if they do walk away on the 31st, is an option at your disposal to set up brand new teams?
Let's treat this with the seriousness that this deserves. This is Welsh rugby. This is everything that we've built over the last 133 years. This is what's at stake here.
Is it an option?
We will continue to work. This is the important answer to the question. We will continue to work until we get the right solution that's in the best interest of all of Welsh rugby. We're not going to play media games on deadlines because the WRU did not set a deadline of December the 31st and the WRU will not set a deadline of January the 31st. We will continue to work what's best for the game in Wales.
I'll try one more time. I'm still not clear if it is an option. That if these guys walk, you have that right to set up new franchises.
The question, Gareth, with respect, is that will these guys walk? Whatever.
Well, I've asked them that. They've said that it has to be an option.
Well,
they've said it has to be an option. So is it an option for you to set up a new team?
What does that mean? I will continue to work with.
You're like a politician.
No,
That
is to work in the best interest of the game, not to get into a corner stuck there. The real question, Gareth, is where will the regions walk on February the 1st?
If they do, Roger, they've said this is an option. So if they do, is it an option for you, yes or no,
Gareth,
to set up new teams?
With respect, what is the option? Where are they going to?
Well, Roger, we've been through
that.
No,
you have not, Gareth. You've not. What is the option?
They have the potential of a Champions Cup, perhaps the potential of an Anglo-Welsh League, which Gareth has confirmed is an option. So if they do that, do you have the right
Let me be clear.
to set up new teams?
Let me be clear. The Rugby Football Union, as Martin has alluded to, will not allow the Welsh regions to join the Aviva Premiership. They will not. Because they have a pyramidical structure. They've told us.
Well, don't talk about it then, because you're wasting time talking about something that's not going to happen.
So that's not going to happen.
Nobody said.
Chris Clark, very quickly, from Cross Keys.
It's working in the best interests of all of Welsh rugby, from the grassroots, from the Division 1 to 7, to the Premiership, to the regions, to the national team. And it's all about looking for solutions, working together. And that's how we will achieve greatness, which we've already achieved in Wales over the last 9 years, and continue that greatness. Because Welsh rugby is in a good place and will be in a good place through us working together collaboratively to address these issues.
Thank you.